Okay, first off, congratulations, Stanford. It's obviously a very, very talented football team. Very, very physical, and we got a long ways to go to be able to stand and go toe-to-toe with those guys for 4 quarters. So, got a lot of work to do. I'm proud of the kids. I thought we played hard. Again, I keep saying that, but I think it needs to be noted to them, and it needs to be noted to everybody that watches them. They play hard. It's important for them to play the game as hard as they can play it. So there were some bright notes, bright spots in the game. Had some opportunities. Again, we hopefully continue to learn from these situations that this is a game of tactics. It's a game of fundamentals and basics at times, but it is very tactical, and you have to understand the tactical moments in the game as a player at times to be able to, I guess, be in the moment. It's the easiest way that I could say it. So continue to coach them. So just like I always tell you, and I'm going to keep saying it for a long, long, long time, because I plan on being here for a long time. As soon as if it's not good, it's on me. So I was a bad head coach today for these kids. Didn't give them a chance to be able to do what they needed to do. Questions?
You feel Stanford wore you guys down a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. We were. There wasn't a bunch of answers out there. You know, you talk on the headphones. You can talk as long as you want on the headphones in those situations. But we absolutely got worn down. I would say more so than we did in the Michigan game, and the stats will show that. I think the film will show that. And again, not effort, but we got worn down. We were dripping off tackles, and that's where we're at. And we run into a lot of those teams this year. We're going to continue to look to find answers and keep working with the kids to get them in a spot. But that's two really good running backs, bunch of tight ends / offensive linemen, good players. That they ran their scheme and were very effective.
Well, more specifically, McCaffrey, who I believe have over 300 total yards, I think, tonight.
Mm-hmm. He's a great player. He was a great player in high school. I've admired him all the way through. Watched him in high school and watched him through his college career. So, you get into those moments and those situations, you have to be able to take the best players away, again, to be in a position to be able to win football games in this conference. And that's, quite frankly, it's exactly where we are. I share that with the kids all the time. There's going to be great players, and there's going to be a whole bunch of really good players when you play in this conference. And you have to find a way to take the great players out of the game, and your great players have to make plays, and the good players have to do everything to keep you in it and do their jobs. If you don't get that, you'll never get it flipped within this conference. And it doesn't matter. No one cares on the other sideline about anything but winning the game, and that's the way it should be.
Coach, talk about what the team felt like going into the half, just down by 4, had played an excellent first half. Tell me what the feeling was.
Well, it was good. I think they were disappointed that we didn't get the touchdown there. We were able to, get some stops and make some plays. Again, they were very attentive. They were excited. Sometimes they still in their youthfulness get a little bit too excited. You have to be able to coach in half times and make the adjustments that you want to be able to make to keep them in the moment. But they were great. They took the coaching. I think we put in a couple different things that wouldn't show with the way we played in the second half, but we had some opportunities to make some plays, a few adjustments that they did.
Coach, you talked about having great players and having to stop them. Do you feel like you have some on your side of the ball? Yeah,
we have some great players, absolutely. When you're in this conference, you have to recruit at a very, very high level. And we have some great players. We have some great older players, and we have some great youthful players that are learning in a position that as many reps as they're getting, you maybe wish they weren't getting as many reps as they are, but that's exactly where we are. But we have some really good kids. They're working their tails off. The name of this game is to continually work to get the best players on the field, and year after year, continually recruit to get the best players. And in this league, that will never change. But I think we have some kids that are verging on being great players if they allow themselves to be, and we have a whole bunch of kids that are verging on being good players if they allow themselves to be. But again, it's my job to get them there, nobody else's.
Where do you see Seth fitting on that?
For a freshman quarterback, I don't know what more you could ask for. He's, at times he runs it, he throws it. He's made pretty good decisions. He, again, threw the deep ball today unbelievably well. He's getting smarter every single week, so he's he is a vicious weapon as a true freshman quarterback to be doing the things he's doing. And there's a number of those true freshmen, and probably not the best after a game in this moment to turn around and point all those guys out as much as I should. But I hate to single young men out when it doesn't kind of go our way. But you ask about Seth, I think he's playing at a very high level and needs to keep growing up.
Talk about his growth, Coach, through these first 3 games.
Well, I think we all can see it. All those that have seen the games, he's continually more at peace. Now, there's a lot of things we can still work on. Trust me, on that film. And I don't know the offense inside and out, and I'll never claim to know the offense inside and out. But I do listen on the headphones and the communication, and there's things we can do much better. I think the thing that's really helping Seth at times, quite frankly, his supporting cast is getting better and better. Jordan made a bunch of plays today, and it was great to see him make those plays. But Seth has grown every single week. Understanding the offense, picking the moments. You saw a couple times today where he ran out there and he threw the ball, one scramble and get to the next down. Sometimes there's a lot worse things than just punting. We're in that setting. Sometimes he's starting to learn that. So I'm very proud of that kid. I think Coach McGiven has done a tremendous job of coaching him, mentoring him, and this team's relying heavily on him to have success right now.
Coach, I realize this is a group thing, but considering how he has emerged, does he put you a little bit ahead of schedule in rebuilding this thing?
Yeah, the future's bright. If you have a young freshman quarterback like that, and I think we have some other quarterbacks that hopefully we're getting out there through the recruiting process, and Daryl's on our team right now. So we've got ourselves in a position at the quarterback spot to be able to compete. And if you think you're going to go out there with one quarterback year in and year out and week in and week out, so Seth definitely puts you in a position to say, well, the guy we played tonight started for 4 years. And I look back and watching the game today, and there he was 4 years ago playing against Oregon State. And he's got a lot of reps underneath him, and he's a tremendous quarterback. And then I look at Seth, and he's 4 games into this thing now, and I guess 4.5 if you take all his reps. And he's a tough, competitive kid, and it means a whole bunch to him. It hurts to lose, I promise you that much.
Gary, how good is Stanford?
Boy, I think really good, because I have, and I say that with a little bit different vision than most people, or in fact anybody in the Pac-12. I played Northwestern for the last 2 years, so I know how good Northwestern is, and I know how hard it is to play at Northwestern, and I also know how hard it is to fly across the country to go play. So I have tremendous respect for Stanford. Their defense is, I think, continually getting better and better with some young kids that are on the back end. But they're an older team. They're physical. They're a pretty salty group of kids. I would expect them to be right in the hunt of this thing as it continues forward.
In order to be able to hang with a team like this, or what you're going to face the rest of the Pac-12 season for 4 quarters, what are the things that you can fix immediately? What are the quick things that you can adjust and correct right now?
That's a wonderful question, and it's a good question. It's something that we're going to have to go back and do a lot of understanding. You can only take so many chances and become so blitz heavy. We went to the front today. You saw us at times. We had 7 defensive linemen in there matching with them, and the coverage in the back end when there's 7 defensive linemen and a couple linebackers and a couple safeties, it's about as high risk as I could ever think about being, much more so than we've ever been. So, the board and the grease pan and all the stuff can only take you so far. We need to get the scheme set for the kids. We'll continually work to adjust it to try to get our kids in the position. We'll coach hard. They'll practice hard. And I believe they can go in there and win any game we play. I truly, truly believe that. But the key is you just cannot be your own worst enemy at times. And we are going to have to make some special plays and special situations with our kids, much like they did today. The game's close. They throw a ball up. We got 2 guys there. Their guy comes down to it, runs in the end zone, touchdown. That is a gigantic play in this football game that could have just as easily gone our way, but it went their way. And those, situations, you have to make a few of those as you go. But we answered back. So I don't know if I really answered your question, but it keeps me up at night trying to help get them in the right position.
Gary, coming into this game, you guys have done such a good job of preventing big plays for opposing offenses. There were a couple, you alluded to one tonight. Was there anything consistent. You talked about the high-risk defenses that contributed to some of those plays Stanford made.
Yeah, the one that the kid made a great play. You know, I don't know. It looked like to me maybe we got a hand on it or we didn't. He made a tremendous play down the field. You know, the big run, I don't know how many tackles he broke. It was down their sidelines, but it was more than 2 for sure. And, you know, again, the big plays are one thing. That's part of it, and we don't want those big plays. But, again, our inability to be able to have success on first down was a killer tonight. And defensively, when you're in a position to where a team wants to come in, and that was very obvious, they were like, we are going to run the ball down your throat. And 1st and 10, hand it off, 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 4, hand it off. It gets really hard. But the big plays are something obviously we don't want. But we didn't play good, you know, short yardage defense, no. Big plays, no. 3rd down defense, I haven't seen the numbers, but I'm sure it probably wasn't really good. So we'll continue to work through it, and
Thanks, Coach.
we'll work hard. We good? Thanks, guys.